Welcome back to The Wine Fool. As always, I'm Scott. This week we're taking a look at 3 new finds from Trader Joe's. Like a lot of people, my wife and I love going to Trader Joe's. So many unique food options, and for me, it's like a whole new adventure every time I walk into the wine section. This last visit, I was pleasantly surprised with some of the things that I found. A Grand Reserve that I hadn't tried, a new label from Trader Joe's, and a Platinum Reserve. So this week we'll be looking at a Shiraz from Australia, a Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, and a red blend from Chile. So up first is the 2021 Grand Reserve Shiraz from the Barossa Valley region of Australia. This is 14% alcohol by volume and was $12.99. We've definitely tried other Grand Reserves from Trader Joe's in the past. This one is just like the others, $12.99, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer this time in a Shiraz. Good color, that really deep purple ruby at the edges, good fruit forward on the nose, not overpowering, but you know it's there. Dark fruits, plum, cherry. Let's give it a try. Cheers. That's really tasty. No complaints there. A little bit of tannins on the front. Nothing too overwhelming. Decent acidity, kind of light. A lot of fruit. A lot of kind of riper fruit. A nice bold red. A good Shiraz. Maybe not as tannic as I've had in the past. Ripe, dark fruit flavors. Not too much so, but you can tell the difference between something that's been grown in a warm weather climate like Australia versus something that's grown in a colder weather climate like a French blend or something along those lines. This is a Shiraz. This is an Australian Shiraz. So nothing too unexpected here. Again, $12.99, great bargain. Trader Joe's shows up with the Grand Reserve once again. This is interesting, but I wouldn't put it at a Wine Fool level 2 necessarily. It's a good representation of a Shiraz. It doesn't really have sort of that exploratory level that we kind of talk about in terms of something different, something interesting. This is very tame for a Shiraz, I think. Again, interesting, great price point, worth it, yes. Probably Wine Fool level 1. Next up, we have a Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley, from Trading Post by Trader Joe's. Per Trader Joe's website, made exclusively for us by trusted winery partner in the heart of Napa Valley. You can think of the Trading Post label as the best of both worlds among our wine selection, combining the same outstanding quality and value of our limited run reserve wines with the consistent availability of our everyday favorites. I almost walked past this because of the new label, and it's somewhat reflected in the price as well. This is 14.5% alcohol by volume, and the most expensive of our 3 wines today at $19.99. Good color, definitely in that purple, more that purple, good intensity. Oh, that's interesting. There's like a it's like a green beans. I like my initial reaction was that it was green vegetables. Yeah, almost like a pepper, like a green pepper smell. And then kind of after that, you get sort of the dark fruits, cherry, and a little hint of oak. Cheers. Yeah, getting a little bit of that green pepper on the palate too. Good tannins, a little bit more than the Shiraz, a little bit more noticeable. but balanced out a little bit too by the acidity and fruit. So a really nicely balanced cab. Not overly bold, not sort of a in-your-face Napa Valley cab, which is nice. Nothing to really write home about on this one. It's pleasant. It's interesting. I think for the Trader Joe's labels, there are more interesting options out there. Curious to see what happens with this particular labeling, if they stick with cab for this particular label or whether they diversify into other blends or other varietals. I'll be curious to see what happens. For now, an interesting try, given the really great wines that typically come from the Trader Joe's labels. And they're not mind-blowing, but they're really good and they're really priced. It's really tough to beat the prices. So if you're asking me to pay a little bit more, I want something that's a little bit more complex than what I'm already getting at a bargain at in those other labels. So hard to recommend. This is your Wine Fool Level 1. Somebody who has maybe gotten themselves entrenched in a Josh cab. This isn't gonna startle you. There's nothing really interesting. You know, there's nothing that's really kind of taking it to that next step. So I would say this is a good, solid cab, but I think that Trader Joe's can do better, and I'm a little surprised. Last but certainly not least, we have a 2021 Platinum Reserve Red Blend from the Cachapoal Valley region of Chile, lot number 110. This is also 14.5% alcohol by volume and came in at $14.99. This is the penultimate level of Trader Joe's labels. You've got the Platinum Reserve, and then the very top is the Diamond Reserve, which I have not found yet. This blend is rather diverse and breaks down in the following percentages. The majority is Cabernet Sauvignon at 73%, 11% Syrah, 9% Carmenere, 4% Petit Verdot, and 3% Cabernet Franc, which can only lead me to wonder how bad was this cab on its own that it needed that much help. Let's find out. Great color right off the bat, really getting out of that purplish and really into sort of that ruby garnet, leaning. So really nice intensity, really pretty color. Oh, that's interesting. Lots of fruit forward, something different. Getting like blackberry, black currants, reminding me of a candy I had when I was a kid in England that was black currant, and I hated it. Interesting. Let's give it a try. Getting drying, that mouth drying effect. Probably drier than the other two, a little bit. Tannins. There's a little bit, nothing. Tannins are there, not overwhelming. Definitely the highest tannins of the three. Good overall flavor. This would be nice with a steak. This lands in the Wine Fool Level 2. A little bit complicated, a little bit different. Got some different notes on it from Cab, even a Shiraz. Bit drier. A little bit more tannic, so not quite the, not an entry-level wine, so definitely kind of pushing into that Wine Fool Level 2, which you would hope to expect from the Platinum Reserve. You're hoping to get something a little bit more complicated, a little bit more interesting. Still at that $14.99 price point, really nice option. Again, I've let these all kind of breathe for a little bit. Probably could use a little bit more time. I gave them about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Tops, you're probably talking like an hour. Any more than that, and it starts to get silly, especially for bottles of this price. That being said, another great round of wines from Trader Joe's. Found that they've been a go-to. You know, we've tried quite a few over the last 6-7 months. Very few disappointments. Is this disappointing? A little bit, because of the price point, because there's so many great wines at Trader Joe's under that $20 price point. To have this kind of be a standout label that they're trying, and then to kind of under-deliver, a little disappointing. In general, great wines. You won't be upset by any of them, I don't think. Some really interesting, I like the Shiraz quite a bit in that price point, especially. And this Platinum Reserve, I've found that any of the Platinum Reserves are quite nice. So yeah, there we are. Another great haul from Trader Joe's. Thanks again for joining me this week. If you're not already subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you click the button. Helps me know that I'm doing a nice job. Until next time, stay foolish and cheers to drinking better wine.